Well, Matariki is one of those pinnacle celebrations.
Matariki is known by many names around the world. Pleiades, Seven Sisters, Supuru. There are 9 stars in Matariki: Waiti, Waita, Tupuanuku, Tupuarangi, Ururangi, Waipunarangi, Hiwaiterangi, Pohutakawa, and of course, Matariki herself.
The arrival of Matariki is a sign for people to gather, honour those who have passed, celebrate the present and plan for the future. Māori have long held the belief that our stars represent our atua, and long ago our ancestors gave names to these 9 stars. The central star in the cluster is Matariki, the mother of the star group. Matariki signifies reflection, hope, our connection to the environment, and the gathering of people. She represents the health and well-being of all. The next star is Pohutakawa, the eldest of Matariki's children. One of the 2 sacred stars, Pohutakawa holds tight to the memories of our treasured loved ones who have passed. It is her role to guide our dead across the night sky and onto the afterlife. Our ancestors refer to Tupuarangi and Tupuanuku as whetū hirikaimai, or food-bringing stars. They are said to be the source of food vitality. Tupuarangi has long looked after all that grows plentiful in the tops of the trees. His songs for Te Waunui bring life into the dark ngahere. Tupuanuku tends to all that we grow in our soil. Her special attention helps our plants grow big and strong so they can produce kai, rongoa and kakahu. Waiti and Waita are Matariki's twin children and work together as one. Papatuanuku knew that they would be able to care for the smallest and fastest of creatures because they too know about being a team. Waiti sits above her brother Waita as the fresh water flows from our maunga and awa into Te Waitai for her brother the saltwater star. When we see these 2 stars in the sky, we are encouraged to join in and support each other. Waipuna Arangi is not only the star connected with the rains, but she welcomes the winter sky waters in all forms. Ua, Uanganga and Hukarere. Her gentle rains cleanse our worries as we step into the new year. And with her waters, we heal our mind, our body and spirit. Her mate is Ururangi, the winds of the sky. He represents the 4 wind directions. It is no coincidence that the stars of Matariki originate from Tāwhirimātea, atua of winds and weather. For our ancestors, navigating Ururangi helped guide their voyages across the oceans to Aotearoa. Hiwaiterangi is the final star in the cluster and the 2nd sacred star along with her sister Pohutakawa. While Pohutakawa represents death, Hiwaiterangi represents life. One is the setting of the sun, the other a rising anew. When she is shining bright at the rising of Matariki, we send our wishes into the sky for her to bring through into the new year. Today, there are many ways you can acknowledge the Māori New Year and observe the rising of Matariki. Take time to remember those who have passed and give thanks for the year. Spend time with friends and family, cook a meal and offer it to Matariki, and most importantly, celebrate. Matariki has risen, welcome the new year.
So Matariki for me as well is a large group of stars, known also to many people as the Pleiades, and it has well over 500 stars. It's a very hot region of stars that is a star forming area, and it's around about 410 to 450 light years away.
Matariki is a group of stars that signals that the beginning of the Māori New Year is near.
The pre-dawn rising of Matariki in the correct lunar phase of the correct lunar month heralds the beginning of the Māori New Year.
Matariki is acknowledged all around the Pacific in rituals and practices.
But in the Pacific, most of our indigenous people celebrate Matariki, Makali'i, Ariki, all sorts of other names that all come to the same star cluster.
The stars in Matariki represent kai and elements in different realms. YT is associated with fresh water, fish. Waita, the oceans. Pawa, kina. Tupuanuku, the ground. Kumara, potatoes. Tupuarangi, the kai found in the tops of trees, birds and berries. Ururangi, associated with the winds. Pohutakawa, to those who have passed on. Hiwa i te rangi, our aspirations and hopes for the coming year. And Matariki signifies our connection to the environment, our hopes, dreams, well-being, and signifies reflection.
Matariki is a star cluster of many that illustrate our kōrero tuku iho. Matariki in particular, for me, is associated with mahika kai, our food procurement practices. It's part of an intricate timekeeping system that our tupuna followed, and it's also a time to remember the past, think about the future and plan for that.
It's important to celebrate it because in many ways it's that chance to find a symbolic start to everything that's going to happen over the next 12 months or so.
Other stars are used to mark the new year.
Matariki represents the Māori New Year as well as other stars such as Puanga, which is a very important star to many other iwi in New Zealand.
We know that Puanga was recognised widely within Taranaki as the signal for the new year, and Matariki wasn't so much a signal for the new year, but a signal in terms of what the year would hold.
I don't know a lot about Matariki because we were brought up to recognise a different way of marking the new year. So there are two stars that we use. One is Rehua, setting in the west, and Puanga rising in the east. And so in Hokianga there's not a lot of knowledge around that cluster of stars known as Matariki.
Māori tribes have various approaches to just about everything, but for a large majority, Matariki, or a large group anyway, Matariki was the sign that denoted the beginning of the new year, the change of the season. It's a feast to come together. Matariki is built around really crucial values like remembering those people that are no longer with us and we farewell them at this period, celebrating the present with food, with coming together, unity, collectivity, and planning for the future. And one of the things that Matariki was central in, apart from our very unique and diverse systems of time, is Matariki helped to reaffirm identity and to reaffirm bonds that we have with each other, those that have passed, those that are still with us, and those that are still to come. So it's this very important celebration and period of time that really helps to embed those central values within us and within our communities.